This is the first episode I'm recording. I don't know if you guys can really hear me well. It might be a podcast. It might be just posted on YouTube. I have no clue. But anyways, without further ado, welcome to Women Full of Grace, a space where we explore what it really means to live with grace, kindness, and strength as women navigating through this world. I'm your host, Amari. Hello. I'm glad that you're here. Whether you identify with Christianity or not, or just simply with the idea of grace as a way of being, this is a podcast for you. In a world full of Wizard Liz and Leo Scuppies, which I adore and love, I do believe there has to be some grace. Because life can be tough, and yes, you can hustle your way through, be strong, but I do believe in some of those cases there has to be some grace. At least be kind to yourself throughout you persevering through whatever is the situation. Grace isn't about religion, perfection, or always having it together. Yes, I'm talking to you, little Miss Perfectionist here. Yeah. It's about how we show up for ourselves, for others, and for life's challenges. Yes, faith and spirituality can be part of that, but they're not a requirement here, so everyone is welcome. First, I want to start off by defining grace beyond religion. When we say grace in this podcast, we're talking about something deeper and broader than any one tradition. It's the ability to respond with kindness, patience, compassion, even when it's hard. Strength wrapped in softness and courage wrapped in calm. Being graceful doesn't mean that you're perfect. It means you choose to extend grace to others, but mainly yourself when things don't go your way. And you're probably wondering, why does grace matter? See, life throws shit at us. Often pressure from work, social media, and sometimes, often, within ourselves. How we handle that pressure really shapes our well-being in our relationships. Choosing grace means creating space to breathe, forgive, to pause before reacting. I need to do that. It's a radical act in a world that often values hustle, perfection, and quick judgment. I want to share a personal story with you guys. If you're from my school and you're watching this, you're like, OT time. It's about a time where I struggled to give myself some grace. This story is about my senior year. 2023 was definitely a memorable year. Senior year came with this unspoken contract to be excellent, to be strong, and to be ready for the next chapter of my life, I should say. I was trying to keep everything together with grades, college applications, and showing up for my family. From the outside, it seemed like I had it all handled, and at first I did. Obviously, fell through. It was the first week of school. I was excited. I had just started my college level EMT class, and I only had a few easy classes left for my senior year. I was ready to make the most of it, and I formed connections with people. I stepped out of my comfort zone, and I even ran for homecoming queen with my boyfriend at the time. I mean, the attention was kind of fun until it wasn't. I just couldn't handle being the topic of conversation, so yeah, popularity was definitely a no. I enjoyed EMT. I enjoyed improvising and doing everything I can to save someone's life. I was trying to balance time with my boyfriend, but honestly, if I'm being honest, we were growing apart. I started to feel like I wasn't enough. Obviously, we both developed some insecurities, and I, I just didn't feel like a good girlfriend. With all that going on, I felt the pressure to keep up with appearances, to live up what people thought of me, and especially when someone told me, yeah, you're not going to pass that class. And honestly, that motivated me even more. I'm like, oh yeah, watch this. I hope you didn't. If you're seeing this, my family responsibilities were building up too. I come from a culture where it's it values being there for your family. I tried doing that, and let's just say, not not only was I trying to do that with my immediate family, I was trying to be a people pleaser with my extended family, yada yada yada, and I snapped. And you're probably wondering what happened. That's another story time for later. So then, to continue, some random Wednesday morning, I felt unusually tired. I felt my heartbeat drop, and I felt like I was gonna pass out. Unusually tired and nauseous. Waking up really early for that class did fuck me up, like, because I have terrible acid reflux. I had to eat something right away as soon as I woke up. So, probably wondering, I took this class that second semester, like the last school year, at the fire station. It was fun, and then sometimes it was boring. We didn't do much until we had to do our clinical hours, which is the writing time in the ambulance. And I had a blast. Um, Now looking back, my body was giving me signs. I just didn't want to see them. Mentally, I was just trying to push through. I was waking up already exhausted, skipped my meals. My head would pound, and I still showed up for class and many other things. I told myself, this is what strong people do. I thought, I believed that rest was weakness. Then one day, I went to complete my last 7 hours of clinical time. Well, I should say writing time. I ended up in a terrible emergency call, one that I will never forget, and I couldn't stop thinking about it. I wondered if I would have done something differently. Maybe I could have saved this person's life. I know, looking back at it, definitely there wasn't. Some things are out of your control. That really did scar me for a while. Like, I honestly, I couldn't stop blaming myself for it. So then, after that whole fiasco happened, the last 3 weeks of my senior year really felt like a blur. Prom didn't feel real at all. Graduation felt numb and like a fever dream. I'm like, what? I remember hugging people and it's over. Then 1 week before the year ended, someone I had known since my whole childhood, I'm telling you, I love this person so much. I really admire and looked up to this person. And then they made a move that completely caught me off guard. And by the way, let's just say I was like, yeah, no. Everybody in my life right now is basically leaving. You might as well go with them. My relationship was at a tough spot. So the last thing I wanted was to lose one more person. So yes, I was stressing how my relationship was going. Looking back, again, I didn't need to push myself harder. I needed to pause. Sometimes in life, when a lot of things are going on, you just need to really take a moment to pause and be like, okay, let's take a break. There's clearly so much going on. There's only so much I can do, so much in my control. You just gotta let things be. And you don't always need perfection. Sometimes it's permission to rest. And that was grace. And I didn't give it to myself when I needed it the most. So I'm telling you, if you're hearing this, give yourself some grace. Pause for a moment. Give yourself permission to rest. Sometimes there's only so much you can do. But life didn't stop there. This is where I actually chose grace. Actually, I'm lying. It felt more like it chose me. Completely humbled me. After graduation, I felt terribly ill. I was in and out of doctor visits and the ER. Nobody at the time could figure out what was wrong with me, and today they're figuring it out. At one point in that year, same year, I couldn't even eat. I couldn't even swallow, and I lost 30 fucking pounds. And I dropped from 132 to 102. And I barely recognized myself in the mirror. And you're thinking, did you ever went through some body dysmorphia? Kind of, but at the time, if I'm being honest, the only thing I was focused on was my health and my well-being. I could care less if I look like this girl over here or this girl over here. Like, I just wanted to be healthy. I just wanted to be healthy. It was really terrifying. And it was very humbling. But in that stillness, when I had no choice but to slow down, I began to learn something way deeper. I got closer to my faith in God. I have always believed, but now, and at that time, I needed something to hold on to, something bigger than myself. Through prayer, through journaling, quiet moments of surrender, I began to understand what grace really meant. Not just a word, but a way of living. I realized that grace isn't about forgiveness, isn't about gentleness, patience, trusting the process, is loving yourself when you're at your lowest. This strength that comes when persevering through it all, you look back and you're like, wow, I'm really that girl. I did that. So I'm just saying, if I could put up with that, you can put up with anything. You don't have to be Christian or whatever religion you're in to understand grace. Every faith, I believe, every spiritual path carries its own version of it. Grace is universal. It's something that the soul recognizes no matter what you call it by. If you're still here and you're still listening, again, wow, you're cool and thank you. Thank you so much. If you're in that space, you're trying to hold everything together, maybe you feel like your world is falling apart, this should be a reminder that grace isn't something we offer to others, it's something we owe it to ourselves. Grace means letting go of perfection, means honoring your limits and accepting where you are, even when it's messy. Like, messy. Sometimes it's just simply means saying, I'm doing the best I can and that's enough. You don't have to earn grace, you just have to let it in. You have to let it in your life. Again, if you're still listening, thank you. Here's my invitation for this week. Notice where you can bring a little bit more grace to your life each day. Maybe it's a difficult conversation. Maybe it's when you're being hard on yourself. Try to pause and breathe and respond with kindness sometimes. Not because you have to, but because you owe it to yourself. I just want to say, if you're still here, thank you. Thank you for listening to Woman Full of Grace. If you're feeling inspired, please share this episode with someone that might need a reminder to give themselves more grace. We all need some grace in our lives. You can follow me on Instagram, stay connected. I'm hoping to build a bigger community and just review or share. It goes a long way. Until next time, keep being full of grace in your own unique way. Thank you.